film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.
Coming at you from the mean streets of St. Louis, from a basement on South Broadway, the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Because indie film is what it is.
It is what it is. It sucks, but we love it.
Yeah.
No, the process sucks, right? Everything that goes into it is fun.
Mostly.
Yes. It's a long time.
Mostly.
We've had an indie film in the process for 2 years now.
We have.
Our last one. Man.
So, anyway, I'm Chris Grega.
Chris Mackey.
And still Brock Roberts.
We are 88mm Presents Indie Film Sucks. Hey, if it's the first time listening to us, appreciate it. Go back and listen to the other ones that are all out there on
Go back and listen to all of them.
Yes, YouTube, Spotify. Just had
Nathan Creamy, second time through.
Yes, talking about his festival coming up and what he's got going on.
Gung Ho Revolution Film Festival.
Yeah. Oscar Tango Hellwater. I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to that. Listen to all our guests. A lot of kick-ass filmmakers from St. Louis. We really try to highlight them along with what we're doing and along with how we can help young, old, independent filmmakers understand the process of independent filmmaking.
Yeah, I get a lot of feedback from you guys out there listening or watching or whatever, and I appreciate it. And I know the directors who come on here pushing their careers and their films appreciate it too. So just want to thank you guys out there who are listening and checking out their work and our old work, and hopefully you'll check out our new work here pretty soon.
Red Night at Skies?
Red Night at Skies.
Yeah, that'd be the one I'm talking about.
Right. So any I don't want to cut you off. Any updates?
Well, yeah, there's one thing for sure, which does not suck.
What's that?
Red Night at Skies is locked and done.
All right. Thank God. I mean, I'm glad that people could see that because it looked like you.
God, it's over with.
You were.
Oh, it's over.
Is it over?
No, it just started.
It literally is just starting. But I just had a conversation with Jeff Wedding, our editor, today.
Nice.
He basically said, "Look, the ball's in your court. It is up to you to say, is this locked? Can I do the final mix?" I'm like, "Lock that bitch.
Lock that bitch.
Lock the bitch.
Lock that bitch. Hashtag lock that bitch.
Lock that bitch.
Yes.
So, well, congratulations, you guys.
Yeah.
No. That's awesome. That is awesome. I didn't know. We ask almost every show.
We do.
Yeah.
If it's done. So you knew about that today. You just didn't tell us. You're waiting for now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Super. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Well,
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yeah, buddy.
He put in above and beyond level of work you would expect out of an editor. This guy, because he's been working on this thing for just shy of 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years of post, because we talked to him, I don't know, maybe a month after we wrapped, and we wrapped in November of 2021.
Yeah, so does that mean we possibly could show it to people sometime?
Theoretically, yeah.
All right.
It's our property. So okay, before we go into that, because I know we're not.
YouTube doesn't have it yet?
We got.
Not yet.
Fuck.
Exactly. Before we dive into, because I know we got 1,000 things we want to say now, like where we're going, what we want to do,
Yes.
right, the next process. What does picture lock actually mean?
That means that nothing is going to change with the cut of the film.
Gotcha.
Now, there are a few things, like if he wants to adjust the color a little bit, we want to adjust the sound a little bit, want to add in or take away some visual effects, we can do that. But, I mean, the actual edit of the film, it is done.
So the time of the movie is what the time of the movie is?
Yes.
Whew. Yeah. That's cool as hell.
And I tell you what, we would have been here a week or two earlier, but I went in with the last cut that Jeff sent me, and I said, you know what, there's a couple things I'd like you to fix. And one thing was a big fix, and he was like, fuck, really? I'm like, yeah, man. I said, there's something that I looked at, I don't know, many, many times, and just it was not timing out right to me for some reason.
But that's important, though.
It is.
Because that was what we always said. If it's not right, we're not releasing it. And I think that's important for people to understand is you only get one shot to really lock the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always go back and do whatever.
Sure.
But why do that? Do it right the first time.
And it's not that it was bad. And here's the thing. I think I've talked about this before. It's something called editor brain, where if you're the editor, you're cutting this, you're looking at this over and over and over again, and there's some things that you just get used to and you don't really think about anymore. And that's why you have a fresh set of eyes come in and look at something and say, did I miss something? Does everything make sense? Do all these cuts work? Does the story work? And everything worked pretty well, but there was this one particular scene. It was an action scene. It was a shootout scene, because we have a few in the film. And I'm like, man, this is just not timing out right. The characters at point A are not ending up at point B where they're supposed to be. And I'm like, why is that? What? And I had to watch it like 15 times in a row, because like something was just, the first time, I'm like, oh, this is fine. But then like something was bothering me. And I was like, man. So I went back and I dug through all of our footage, because, we have all the footage still. And I'm like, oh, if we would have used these other shots, these other angles, that would have extended it just enough so it would make sense why this character is physically in this spot and this other character is physically in that spot. And it's not like Jeff did an excellent job.
Right.
But his interpretation was a little bit different than what I thought it should have been. So I said, hey, can we make these like 6 or 7 cuts? And he's like, yeah. Shit. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Jeff is very much like, I will do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to eradicate anything, take it out, make it longer, make it shorter, do whatever you got to do, I will do it.
Right.
He was like, okay, 100% I will do that, but then the music cue is going to change.
Hence, going back and now, hitting back with Gus.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's worth it, because now, at least in my mind, this makes sense from a viewing standpoint to me.
Perfect.
I'm loving that. I'm loving the announcement tonight.
Yeah.
I'm loving that you saved that for this little thing so Brock and I could actually be excited.
Yeah.
I saw Brock's face over there. He was kind of like sigh of relief, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
Yeah,
it's a long time coming.
It is a huge deal, and we owe a lot of people a lot of gratitude and thanks. We won't get into that, but what's the next steps for the movie?
Next step is film festivals. We've picked out, I think, 11.
11.
And we might miss 1 or 2 deadlines, so it might, become, 8, 9, or 10. I don't know what it's going to be. But within another week, we're going to be firing them off to the festivals. And you know what? We might get accepted in all those festivals. We might get rejected from all of them. I really don't know. It is what it is. They're all horror festivals. They're all genre festivals, because that's what our film is. It's an action horror film. I think it's going to play well. I think it's going to get accepted. And here's the thing about film festivals that you got to understand. Okay, if you have missed a regular deadline, you missed the early bird deadline, you missed the extended deadline, and the only thing left is the late deadline, skip that festival.
There's no more room for your film.
No.
Yeah.
At that point, you're
money grab.
You're just padding out the festival's coffers with your money.
Yeah, so they've already carved out time for other films.
Yep.
And they can't squeeze in another feature somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, the programmers, they're burned out, they're tired, they just want to be done. And if you're willing to send them $50, they're going to take it, sure as shit. But they're probably not going to take your movie at that point in time. And I'm not saying that that's something underhanded or wrong, because there's always a shot. If you don't get in before the regular deadline, don't worry about it. Just wait till next year. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to understand our strategy. People are like, oh, you have a horror movie, you didn't plan for Halloween. No, we planned for the movie to be done right first.
Yeah.
And then the festivals came second. And we may add some festivals as we go along here. There's still options to do that if we choose to do that as we find things. But our strategy was, if there's still festivals left, that's what we're going to do. Because we want people outside of our bubble, our world, to see this, look at it, view it, and judge us. Ours isn't necessarily because we know we're not getting in the big ones.
Correct.
We never intended to go into the big ones, but ours was just to get it out to as many festivals that were left in our time frame, meanwhile send it to distributors.
Yeah, you just hit on something right there too. Meanwhile, send it to distributors to see what kind of nibbles or bites or whatever. I'm excited about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you guys, you didn't plan that outright. No, we planned it exactly how we thought we were going to plan it. Movie comes first. Movie's got to be right. Festivals come second, but it's still a plan. We still have time to do it. Screening, distributors, all happening kind of simultaneously, and then see what the next step is after that.
Right. I know everybody listening and all three of us know our attitude towards distributors. But they're kind of a necessary evil, but we also learn from them too. Yeah. So we send out Red Knight and see what they have to say. We know what to expect for the next group that we send to, or we can leverage each distributor off of each other without them even knowing it. So it's a really good process to go through. And like Greg has mentioned before, we may not go with any distributor, but there could be possibly a good one out there that we're looking to partner up with. That'd be what we really would like to do. But either way, we're going to figure this shit out, and we're going to bring you on for the ride.
Yeah, I think if you don't send it to distributors, you're making a mistake.
Huge.
Because you don't have to accept it. You own the property. You own the control. You do not have to sign. But I think you need that feedback. You need that experience. What do we got, 15 picked out?
Yep.
And we have a wide range from people to going, yeah, these might be bums. These might be the guys at the bottom of the barrel, but they're the best of the bottom of the barrel. And then we got all the way up to like some of the ones that we think are maybe out of our league because they're accepting films that have more stars.
Yes.
Or they're shot on film. But we're still going to try because I want that feedback. We want that feedback and experience to have that. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't consider sending it to distributors in order to understand what that process looks like. But making the right decision once you get that paperwork back and not what they're telling you.
Well, we already do know we have distributors interested. From them seeing our trailer.
That's true.
From
Yeah, we do.
a year and a half ago.
No, that is very true.
So-
We were early in the game, and we got lucky with who we partnered with on a few things.
Right.
And we'll kind of disclose that as we go along because our idea is not to name distributors.
Correct.
As we kind of go through, we can tell you who we're sending them to, but we're never going to tell you who we got the contract back, who we're ripping on, who's successful, who's this, who's that, because that's just I think just integrity and just having a little bit of a little bit of moral compass, I guess.
Yeah, I'd love to go shit all over the distributors
Exactly.
that already
And-
screwed us over. So
We can't afford. We just talked about how much we can't afford a lawyer anyway.
Exactly.
When we talked about Rhineland. So
yeah, we'll tell you in private who not to go to. How about that?
yeah, exactly.
So this has been our longest post-production experience on any 88 millimeter film.
It didn't feel like it.
So I was 50 when we started this.
Yeah,
I was probably 49.
probably.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, this has been the longest experience, but it's been like that for a reason, because every other film was rushed through post to meet some artificial deadline, either a deadline with the festival, a deadline with the distributor, or a deadline with the screening. There was some artificial deadline pushing that. And even with the shorts that I made, there was always some artificial deadline to meet. And this was really the first time that I decided we're going to take a step back. And we said this from the very beginning. As soon as we wrapped production, we said post-production is going to take as long as it has to take. Not a second less. And that's what I told Jeff at the beginning when he came on board as the editor. And I kept reassuring him that every time we would talk, I'm like, no, dude, we're not in a rush. If you're not happy with it, if it's not where it needs to be, keep working. Because we don't care about festivals, we don't care about distributors, we don't care about a screening. We care about making this film the best possible film it can be.
Well, we do care about festivals.
We do.
care about distributors.
But not the timing of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. So, yes, the film came first
Yeah.
and foremost, and then everything else worked into the plan as when we knew we were getting close. So we got our festivals picked out because we knew we were close. We didn't know today was the day.
No. And I knew we were missing deadlines. And there are festivals I wanted to go to that I knew we were going to blow the deadline. It's like, it doesn't matter. We're not going to compromise the film. We're not going to compromise the integrity. We're not going to send a rough cut. We're not going to send an unfinished version because nobody wants to see that.
Right. No, I agree with 100% of what you were saying. And I think it's important for people to understand is we talked about that before we get it. It wasn't a process in us, two people thinking one thing and one person thinking a third thing. It was, hey, this is kind of the way it is. And there were some nice conversations along the way.
Yeah,
Discussions.
I mean, well, like I've mentioned before, within those 2 years of this being in post, we've done a lot of other work. I mean, shit, we're on their phone a couple of times a week, trying to figure things out as far as who do we send it to, festival-wise, distributor-wise. How That's how this podcast came to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
no,
going to
I
say
know.
we started the podcast.
Very true.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that happen, and I think we've all grown and learned from it. And I just can't wait to do it, start the suck all over again after this one's in and out.
Yes,
You
it's going to be positive sucks because it's going to be us talking about distributors.
Yeah.
And not necessarily our suck going back and saying what sucks about indie film or what's our day going like.
Right.
It's going to be real going, it sucks because we haven't heard anybody from 2 weeks, right? It sucks because this, and that's the process.
Go over the things we are doing since we're in the downtime.
Yeah, exactly. So
Hey, we got posters made.
made.
We got more coming.
Starting to work on how the DVD's going to look and pricing that stuff out in order to have those things. And people are like, oh, DVDs, nobody does that anymore. Yes, it is very key because our main actor, Bill Moseley, goes to a lot of conventions.
That's right.
And in his contract, he says, I need this many DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't think that that's a free promotion for your movie, when your main actor is sitting at these conventions and he's an icon in the horror industry and he's sitting there with your poster and your DVD and he's telling people going, yeah, it's on Tubi, it's on here, you can get it here, they got distribution through here, that's powerful.
And the cool thing about DVDs is all the extra stuff you get that you wouldn't get during a streaming service, during a streaming viewing, which I think is really cool.
So you don't get commercials.
Oh, damn, you missed all the commercials.
Well, I'll give you a great example because I love physical media.
Me too.
I don't know, maybe a week ago, I was watching Pulp Fiction for the millionth time. It was on Prime or something, and I put it on pause, went to the bathroom, made a sandwich, something, came back, and Prime it would not restart. So I was like, well, son of a bitch. So I went to
Your library?
Went to my library, grabbed Pulp Fiction, put it right back where I was watching it, and finished the damn movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I can only do that because I own the DVD.
That's fine. Hey, you know what? I just handed out a DVD of Game of the Year to some
Game of the
folks.
Year.
And guess what? They were talking. No, we were sitting around talking. They're interested because I'm doing independent film. And they're generally interested. They're generally interested in going to the premiere.
Genuinely?
Screen. Yes. Genuinely interested in going to the premiere of Red Knight.
Yeah.
And found out this guy was a big gamer. Loves it. I don't think he's a closet gamer. He's just an older guy. He just doesn't talk about it anymore, but he's still got a Sunday game. And he's just like, wait a minute, you did a mockumentary on Dungeons and... Absolutely. He goes, where can I see it? I'm like, yeah, you can go out to my website and buy it or whatever like this. Or we have a DVD.
And the DVD has basically an hour's worth of deleted scenes, which it's basically, you get two movies for the price of one on there. There's so
it
much
was
stuff.
fun because he's vested in us. He'll come to premiere, and I was able to hand him something of our past work because we made the commitment or we made the investment of putting DVDs out there. So I'm not saying sit on 200,000 of them. That's a wrong move, but it's not that expensive to get 100, 150 of them made and just see kind of where it goes.
Yeah, it's just money.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're rolling in that. No, not.
Well, we're lucky enough to be in the position to be able to do that kind of thing.
Yes.
So
Yes. Well, I think that if you got to plan it on anything, and we just had a meeting a couple weeks ago where we sat down and went like, we got X. What's the priorities again? And we re-looked at the budget as we kind of finished up post and said, what are our priorities? Well, we need posters. We need DVDs, so we started funding some money towards that. We need X. So
signed scripts.
well, we have to definitely honor some things
Right.
from what we had commitments on.
Right.
But that was us looking back at the budget and saying, of course, we're paying our editor, making sure we honor those commitments, paying our composer, those things. And then saying, we got X left. Okay, these are the most important things with the money we have. So you're still talking about budget, even at this point of the process. I mean, 3 years ago we started this project, actually, when we started pre-production.
I can't remember anymore.
COVID, stuff like that.
It was 2020.
I've got editor brain.
But way different budget
Yeah.
from what we discussed when you close books out on production, and then you start getting into post. Now you're going to close out post, because post isn't closed yet.
No.
No way.
And then you start looking at marketing,
Yeah.
and then different things. So
Marketing.
yeah.
That is a big one that no one thinks about at the beginning of making a movie.
Yeah, have you ever thought? I was looking at AMC, AMC, Marcus, Regal. They allow you to submit movies for independent films, and a lot of the theaters do. But it's a process going through like a distributor, and there it is in big bold face. what is your marketing plan to like have this movie, and how many sites do you expect it to be in? And because Marcus is nationwide,
Right.
And I was like,
I'll get back to you on that one.
but didn't think about that.
Stand
right?
outside the theater with the sandwich board sign.
Exactly. Yeah. So do you make it up? Do you really? It's like, I don't know. But it was interesting on understanding that, going, oh, I thought a distributor took care of theatrical releases.
They do.
Not necessarily. They can,
They can.
but not necessarily. It was,
They say they do.
They say they do, yes.
but for people out there, that's an option for you to go to these sites, figure out how to do it, find a contact name, call them direct, which we plan on doing just to see what that avenue is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to work out for us or what the plan is, but I suggest everybody do it. All they can do is say no.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's just what I got.
They might say yes.
They might say yes.
They will say yes.
There we go.
They will say
and
yes.
then we'll
So-
tell them our marketing.
No, you give them what you want to do, and then you figure out what you can do.
Sandwich board.
Know what they say,
Sandwich
Brock, in
board.
auditions? Never tell them you can't play the trumpet. Figure it out after you get the part.
There you go. Yeah, my acting resume has all kinds of really good stuff on it.
Oh, yeah. You've done it once?
I saw it on YouTube.
Yes. Haven't done it for years.
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't seen my resume in quite a while, but yeah. I'm sure there's something on there that I really don't know how to do.
No.
But all that aside, we are going to have a local screening.
Yes.
And we're going to make it a big night, a big event, something like that. I'm a big believer in you should have that for the cast, the crew, friends and family, and investors, because a lot of people, as we mentioned before, have worked on projects that they have never seen. And one thing I've been asked, I know you've been asked, I know you've been asked multiple times over the course of the 2 years is, hey, when is this movie going to be done and when can I see it?
Yes. And where's the DVD? I get that all the time, too.
Well, DVD's going to have to wait.
Well, it's going to be away, but it's going to be for sale. Along with the poster.
I mean, ideally, we'll have them at the screening.
Yes.
You know, I'd like to see people who you mentioned, Chris, there, everybody involved in the film and family and friends and all those supporters. But I really wouldn't mind seeing some of the St. Louis community filmmaking
Yes.
people there.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be a good networking opportunity for everybody. Have a good time, see a good movie, and get to know each other a little bit better. That'd be awesome. Hope we can get that turned out.
I want everybody to just have a good time, have a good pre-movie, great screening, and then a good post-movie, whether we do a party or just however. It's a celebration for everybody. Yeah, we still got work to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a good celebration for everybody just to kind of see, because, I mean, tip of the iceberg for us, get the screening out. But meanwhile, we were talking about this before, right?
Yeah.
If you can have something else working for you, such as already got things off the festivals,
Yeah.
already got things off the distribution,
Yeah.
already thinking about getting the DVDs made, and you got the posters coming, and you got all this stuff. So everything's working while you're planning things. It's like a washing machine, right? You walk away, you put the laundry in, it's working for you.
You
So-
do laundry?
I do.
And the point is that when your film is done, as ours is done,
Done.
Locked.
Locked.
that's the beginning of the next step.
Right, but the next step needs to be planned
Yeah.
prior to that. You
It's
should have
the beginning of the next suck.
Oh, man, yes. Well, the weight, the anxiety, am I good enough? Because now people are going to be judging your film outside of you.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun part.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, make no mistake, Red Knight is a good film. That being the case, it's still going to get rejected by festivals. There are still distributors who are going to pass on it. That's going to happen.
Yep.
Right.
You know, that's just part of the game. It's part of the suck. Not everyone's going to like what you do, and that's okay.
But it's the first time your movie gets out of your world, controlled. You've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
And now it's hopefully to a lot of the masses.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or ugly. But that's your hope, is now you need to get it. It's funny. Okay, here's a thought I just had.
Oh God.
But no, before it's locked, how many people can only see it? 2, 4, us, Jeff. You're limiting the number of people.
Yeah, it's like 5 people.
But as soon as it's locked and ready to go, you want 1 million people to see it.
Yeah.
I think that's just a funny dynamic of, just of nobody can see it until it's ready.
Yeah.
And then it gets out there and you want as many people to see it. and hopefully more than 5 people see it.
Yeah,
That's your
right.
prayer.
Fingers crossed.
And then we're going to be putting out the trailer too, because the trailer's also done.
You only have so many commodities in what you have, right? You got your film, you got your trailer, you got only so many things that have big impacts on people, and they have to be in my opinion, they have to be placed very
timed out right.
properly. Exactly. So a trailer with when our screening is very impactful.
Yep.
So that those things, it's like you almost have to have certain things. If you release it too soon, you kind of miss the big bang. If you release it too late, you kind of miss the opportunity to make it a big bang. So.
Well, I'm just excited, for real. I'm excited that it's finished. We got picture lock, and this thing's ready to be delivered to festivals and to distributors.
Right.
And also possible local screenings for everybody. So I'm stoked, man. I'm ready to go party.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go right now.
Not now? Right now?
Right now.
Right now.
Maybe not right now.
Not right now. Oh, I'm extremely happy. Thanks, Chris, for driving.
Yeah.
Everything you've driven. Brock, obviously, you know what you've done for everything, what I've done. You know, it's just a partnership that is. If we can get through this, we definitely can make another movie.
Well, I do have another script.
What, Gregor?
There is
You
another.
know,
There
we've
is another
talked about it.
screenplay.
Now we've talked about this. If you go back to listen to like the earlier podcast, we talked about what you need in Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a learning podcast, also.
Yeah, we got some of the hopper that Chris has written up, and
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
We're almost ready to go.
All right.
We just need, what we always need, money.
Don't
All
get
right.
started.
It's only going to get more fun.
I know. Really, it really is. It's only going up from here. I mean, we're at the next stage. We're at the next mountain, but it's going to be a fun mountain to climb.
Right.
Yep.
So we want to definitely be honest, open, and take you on the journey with film festivals. Give you honest opinion. We'll give you an honest opinion on our distributors. Let you know when the screening is and everything that goes after that. And honestly, we think we're going to self-distribute. Don't want to go that route, but we'll take you on that journey if that's what we have to do as well.
Stay tuned.
Meanwhile, we're going to pump independent filmmakers, what they're doing out there over this season. We're going to do other things. And what else are we going to do, Chris Grega?
Oh, well, we are going to talk about the highs, the lows, and the in-betweens. True independent filmmaking. On the Indie Film Sucks podcast, brought to you by 88mm Productions, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, blah, 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 everywhere you can find
If you listen to this one, give us just one comment, one thumbs up. Appreciate it.
anybody, somebody.
Peace out.
Take care, guys.
Good night.
Indie film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast.